Hello there, and welcome to another live stream here. Sari Jackson here, live to you again on YouTube on a Saturday, not a Sunday. Well, I'm gonna do something. This today we gotta say Thanksgiving. Well, what is Thanksgiving? Think about it. One. If we don't have if we don't have cow producing milk, we won't have table cream for coffee. If we don't have potato growing in the field, we won't have potato chips. Here we go. These and these, we won't have these. Think about that, Think about other things. What gonna happen, Doug Ford? Don't think of the farmer. What he thinking about? Oh, build me more condo, build apartment, he can expand, take more land away, greenbelt. Let's build. And what can happen? He's gonna try to build and build and build, and they go all the way down Niagara Falls, all the way up north, all the way at McMeadowan, and again build more and more and more, all the way down to Windsor. Again, to keep build, and then there'll be not one little piece of farmland left. And now what's gonna happen next? There is something that will come, and not nice. It's gonna be this day when we go to KFC, and KFC said, "Well, we have to close our doors for good now because we can't buy any more chicken because all chicken farms are now condominiums, so we can't buy it." And McDonald's, I'm sure we had to close down because we can't get the hamburger patties because of. And I said, because we don't have a cow to produce the patties. We don't have a beef cow to do it anymore. Doug Ford destroyed it. And what's going to happen? And this is another thing. And we can't get something like a corn fest. We got to cancel this year's corn festival because we don't have corn on the cobs because Doug Ford developed all farmland. And we don't have milk anymore. Why? Because Doug Ford developed every dairy farm out there, and so for example, we don't have milk. We don't have any more eggs for eggs and bacon because why? You don't have big iron. Okay, Doug Ford developed all the chicken farms and chicken will lay an egg. Okay, from that egg comes a little farm chick comes out egg. That little farm chick grows up, and it becomes what it comes. It lay eggs and keep on reducing, and we eat the eggs that come. Human female do it in another way. Human ladies will have a period, a bloody period that comes out, and it's the same thing. We human do it, animals do it too. Think about what will happen if so much development took place. On what will happen? This what will happen because see, Doug Ford never looks over the future. He looks at I want the money now. I want my money now. I want my money now. I want to get green right now. No. That's him. He doesn't think. He thinks everything comes on the grocery store in a can. Don't you think? And I think kids today, they don't even know where eggs come from. They think eggs come from the grocery store. Well, that's wrong. That's not thinking like eggs don't come from the grocery store. Before they get that grocery store, there are quite a few things that happen. First, the chicken in the coop have to lay the egg. After the eggs are laid, they're gathered up and they're taken to a place where they get processed into cartons. Then the cartons then are transported from the location where they're cleaned, sterilized, not. They're transported to where? Then they are transported from there to where the wholesaler is. The wholesaler sells the eggs to the grocery store. You buy the eggs at the grocery store and bring them home and cook them. Basically, that's how it goes. Same thing with dairy cow. They will produce a whole bunch of milk. The milk goes into a big tank truck, taken to a dairy. It's processed. And then what happens to the milk after it's been processed? Can you guess? Well, that milk ends up on the table, either coffee cream or a bag of milk or a bottle of milk or what, and different type of, and ice cream as well. Think about, okay, think about that too. We wouldn't have that. Land developed, that will never happen. If land developed, you would not have any, well, a couple of things will happen, land is developed. Two things are gonna, one, we all starve at the expense of Doug Ford, because there's no farm for able to produce anymore, all urban, all like a big city, with nothing between. And little gardens that we spend, community gardens, will not sustain the population. So, therefore, what happens then is that it will cause a problem that it will cause a food insecurity issue like we had never seen before. I had never seen. I hope I never see it in my lifetime, but who knows? With Doug Ford, where he running that provincial parliament, he's gonna destroy every piece of agriculture in this province. Without that agriculture, we as city folk cannot survive. That is true. We cannot survive if that happened. We'd be gone. Where would it be gone? We'd be gone to we'll be gone because we'll all starve to death and they won't have any food at the funeral. After somebody had the funeral, there'll be no food left because they can't get the food to buy. And they will starve and die. And Doug Ford will starve and die because he can't get stuff. And it all comes down to one thing. And finally, basically, what will happen, everybody on planet Earth will just die of starvation because, and it'll leave very few survivors that will survive this, will be no government. Then there would be lots of buildings falling to pieces because all the people passed and they couldn't sustain themselves because Doug Ford took the farming away. And Doug Ford is sitting in a nice, plus, big, huge, shiny house somewhere, and he living out in your garden, and people will be saying to Doug, "You did this, you did it, you did it, you did it." And that is a scary fact about the urban sprawl and development. Is one thing. That is scary fact about urban sprawl, and not just that the fact I'm telling you, that is scary fact. But you know what? All this can be avoided. We gotta give thanks to the farmers who grow the food for us. Without those farmers out in the country on the farm tractors providing the food, we would not eat. We would not have anything to eat. We'd be starved to death. So agriculture plays a very important role in society. And that's where it feeds the people who rely on that agriculture. Every city dweller rely on that farmer on a tractor. Every city relies on that farmer having chickens laying eggs for groceries. Every farmer relies on what every people rely on what and that relying on quite a few farmers on combines and tractors doing the work, or going to have dairy farmers doing their work of getting dairy milk to the market. All that stuff is relied on agriculture farmers. When they take away farmland for development, what happens? That farmer then, they might give them a big kickback, but sometimes crooked deed can happen too. And this land right sitting in a park where all this was farmland, and there was a potato farm across the road where No Frills is now on Greenson Road. And then there's a dairy farm in here. Matter of fact, I did some digging into this dairy farm bit, through agricultural records. I found what sat here was a 5-generation farm owned by the same 5 generation of farm family. They owned this land, the same family. Matter of fact, the land went all the way up to where up to second up to the second line, which is known as Barton Street. Barton Street, or known as second line, and this was this was known 8 line, from an 8 line to a second line. So basically, with Barton Street and too. So what happened was they annexed this land. They told the farmer until the government told the farmer to sell land. And the farmer sort of said, I'm not selling land unless I got my house moved to a new location. And he told the Ontario government, he basically said, screw you. I don't want this multi-generation farm. I'm not losing my farmhouse over this. There was a big dispute with the Ontario government going back, and way back in the late 1958, 59. And finally, by 1960, the dispute was settled with the farmer. They agreed to move the farmer's house out past, Wyona to a location out there. So they moved the farmer's house way out there, and the farmer still have a dairy farm, multi-generation. A third day, it's still running the same dairy farm down here. But you know what? They got a bigger piece of land where the city won't expand to. But unfortunately, the city will stand that far out. Unfortunately, we got to face this all over again and again. That's life, unfortunately. So, that is a sad fact about it. And this is a case that happened a long time ago. And how I found out about it is I looked on the web page, Canadian Agricultural website. I dug up old agricultural records for this area here, in this little area here, and dug up record. There was a potato farm across the street, actually, had potato. And they started farmed that land from 1930, from 1942 up to 1960, and the land was sold to Tower Department Store in 1960, basically. Yep, and between 1940 and 1960, before that, and from 1919 and soon a little bit earlier, there was a coal mine right where Kelsey was. That coal mine was active right up to 1929. 1929, they converted a lot of lake freighter to burning oil, to burn heating oil from coal, converting over burn oil. And a lot of coal-fired residential homes were converted to burn oil from coal, basically, too. So there was no need for coal mines, so that coal mine was abandoned, basically. And it was supposed to be all filled in, but unfortunately it revealed itself back about 5 years back. There was a fire behind Kelsey, black smoke. What it turned out was there was a coal mine there abandoned, and they were filling the hoist house. They did? They were filling the hoist shaft with, they were filling up the shaft, but the mine shaft connecting level to the mine up, they're filling with old grease and old green road. They were filling with motor oil. They were filling with grease for years. And that grease caught fire down there. But unfortunately, it didn't spread to any coal mine, any pocket of coal remaining. They didn't burn any pocket coal, because they never got that fire to do so. They burned. They were quickly extinguished by the fire, and the fire department had to pump hundreds and thousands of gallons of water into it. Actually, they pumped a coal mine tunnel here full of water, whole mine shaft and any drift level completely full of water. Now and then they they did, and they had to bring dump trucks of gravel, fill. They get brought on 220 dump trucks across the street to just fill the staff. That was that was during the pandemic. Couldn't believe it. Before they and after the staff were filled, guess what? Know who had to pay for all that? County ended up paying millions on it. And of course, they didn't pay it, but they ended up having to fork the cost to do it, which was quite a lot of money. Well, anyways, that one thing, all that, we think about it. That was negligent. A Canadian steamship line. Matter of fact, they did dig records this mine up, going along to CSL line, Canadian steamship line. They had to eat the cost of it, big time. And the company went bankrupt. CSL almost went bankrupt. Had to pay $1 million on improperly disposed, improperly filled coal mine, basically. That they owned and they didn't improper film. And that's one thing. There are many other things out there from improper mining and resource. What that means, you got like a lot of things up there. Well, that is really bad for many things. Well, I'm sitting here doing live stream today. We gotta be thankful to farmers. And this live stream will end in about 5 minutes. And I will end here. The second one may not begin. We'll start right away, but it's going to be pre-recorded one. The second one will not be until next week. So come back, relax, and I'll tell you what the live stream is about. Next week, live stream will be probably about average week, things like that. But, just remember, next week it'll be on a Sunday afternoon, not on early today, but I'm going to say thank you for listening to this live stream. And don't forget, not this Monday, following Monday, tune me in to 93.3 CFMU. Remember, be safe, be on the lookout, watch what goes on around you at all times. And remember, please don't drink and drive. And remember that too. And don't forget to me at 93.3 CFNU, also available on Coastal Cable at this present time too. So you Coco Rogers, and also available on TuneIn Radio, whatever what your heart desires in the live stream business. Anyway, and this video is on live, so you can watch it too. But I don't see anybody watching my video. That's not good. Hopefully I can see that. I just look in. Hope I get some more. I don't get viewers, but this every Monday will be a live stream. Nothing more, nothing less. But now I'm going to say thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Bye.